Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Basili, your orthopedics faculty with Marrow, and it gives me immense pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Aakash Sethi to all of you. He has not only secured rank 4 in NEET PG 2023, but there are so many interesting things about him that you should know. And I hope you watch this interview and learn how to live your life like he does. Hi, Dr. Aakash. So I'm so happy, and I would like to congratulate on behalf of the whole Marrow team for securing such an amazing rank. How does it feel?
Sir, it feels that I'm on cloud nine. First few moments, I was in library when the result came, and I had to send the screenshot to my friend to confirm that if I had got the rank I was seeing on the PDF, because they don't show the name, so it becomes overwhelming to actually see that you have actually scored the rank, which is a single digit rank.
What are you trying to do here? You're trying to convince yourself. You're trying to confirm that there is no error in the PDF. क्या NMC से कुछ गलती फिर से नहीं हो गई क्या?
Yeah, we can not trust that anymore. So I put my roll number also. I put my application ID also. Both I checked. I scrolled also 100 pages and went
All the
down
100.
just to make sure that I have the correct.
Right. It's probably a huge moment in your life, and we are so happy and blessed to be a part of this success. I just want to first understand that you're not a typical topper, right? So this rank probably does not represent you as a person in whole. All right. So there are a few things that I've learned about you in the past few minutes. I would like to share that, and if there are more, please feel free to add them. The first thing is that Dr. Akash is not only an amazing student who has secured the top rank, but he is also a participant of Model United Nations who speaks, and he has hosted them, and he has chaired Model United Nations international on an international platform. He participates in quizzes, he conducts quizzes, and what are these other things that you do?
Sir, in the lockdown, I took part in around 20 different conferences and mainly presenting posters and research papers there. Apart from that, I was also active part in parliamentary debates, which are mainly conducted by these law schools and like premier engineering institutes like IITs.
All right. So, have the thought of pursuing law ever crossed your mind?
Yes, it was on top of my head when I was in lockdown, and that was the time I read a lot of judgments, medical legal law, medical negligence. I had read a lot of things about that.
Awesome. So the interesting thing here is that Dr. Akash bought Marrow Plan C when he was in third year, right?
Yes.
Right. He bought it, and because he was so busy in his other activities other than studying, he couldn't start his preparation till he was in final year, right? And in his final year, he started with grant tests and QBanks, and he has taken more than 40 grant tests in a period of 1 year, which has really helped him perform well. So let's start talking about your preparation and a few specific things I want to discuss, Dr. Akash. What was your strategy with using the question bank in Marrow?
Sir, I personally use the question bank in adjunct to my notes. So I used to read those notes, and after completing usually a large chunk of topic, I used to, whenever I used to feel sleepy or whenever I think that I'm getting a bit slower in my reading pace, I used to switch to the question bank, test my knowledge, and because questions help you to judge your performance. They're not just for gaining knowledge, they're also there to judge your performance, to actually see that whatever you're reading in theory is how those questions are framed actually, because at the
Okay,
end of the
now
day
let
no
me
one is going to.
stop you and ask you this question. I mean, were they able to judge you? I mean, in the sense ki, were you able to get all the questions correct, or were the questions very easy, or were they very hard? How were they testing you?
Sir, I think the questions were testing me because they had a different type of difficulty level each time. So it was not always that a easy question, then a hard question. The questions come in varying difficulties. That's how the actual exam is also. So you have to face like different type of question of different difficulties each time. So that is one of the ways that I got tested.
Okay, so in Marrow Question Bank, Dr. Akash, we have designed it in a way when anybody can pick it up from anywhere actually. And when you start a module, you find that the module is actually teaching you a topic. subconsciously teaching your topic. They start with the subliminal or easy difficulty, and they explain everything in the explanations. And if you read the
Yes.
explanation and you move on to the next question, you get some idea of the next question as well. And they slowly keep on increasing the difficulty and concept. Did you feel it? Did you feel what we have actually put into the question bank?
Yes, sir. Now that I look retrospectively, I think yes, there could be a possibility that the questions teach me in a way that they are increasing in difficulty. And yes, I agree that the explanation to them, the question bank was very comprehensive. Many of times I used to add those to my notes, not always, but sometime when I feel that this is hashtag recent NEET or hashtag aims, and it's a previous year topic, I used to add them to my notes. So that way, I think yes.
So, how would you rate the question bank in terms of accuracy of representing the exam-like scenario? Right? How would you scale it?
Sir, I would give it like a 11 on 10, because I feel that in exam as well, you get both types of questions. You get one-liners as well, and you get long-form questions as well. So the Marrow QBank is designed in a way that it's going to give you a best of both. So it's going to throw some fact-based one-liner questions that you cannot afford to get wrong, and also some long form of question which you have to find the keywords from and read between the lines and answer the question. So both ways, I think the questions are framed.
I think you have explained it so beautifully, because there are two sets of students that we come across, right? One set who will just focus on reading those repeat questions and one liners and mug them up and go to the exam. They get a certain amount of score, but still not high enough to secure good ranks. And there is the other sect who is just too smart for the one liners, and they just focus on the concepts and difficult parts of the subject, and they score a certain score, but they still are unable to crack it. I think we need a proper balance of both
Yes.
factual one liners as well as concepts, and that is why Marrow keeps on throwing them around here and there.
Yes, sir, I agree with that. You need to focus on both.
Right. So, how many modules of the question bank did you do? Because there are 19 subjects and each subject has so many modules. How many could you afford to do?
Sir, at the end I think I did 800 out of 830. So
Okay.
I was not able to solve a few of the medicine ones, but what I did in to get that fear that I'm missing something, I made a custom module of those Q banks that I was not able to solve and add hashtag recent need. And so basically, I was able to solve most of the important questions.
So you basically solved most of the question bank, right? So how
Yes,
would
that
your
is true.
typical day with question bank be like? I mean, how many questions would you do on a daily basis? Because 800 plus is a huge, huge number.
So, sir, mainly I used to focus subject-wise question banks. During the end of my preparation near December, I started doing random question banks, because at that point of preparation, you have learned almost everything. So you can afford to do the random questions bank then. But what I did at the start of my preparation was mainly to focus subject-wise, and I had the aim that I did not haven't set target that today I'm going to be doing 3 or 4 question bank. My main aim was that whatever I'm studying, am I able to solve those questions? So that was my aim, and that was my daily target.
Right. So I think your strategy was a very straightforward strategy in terms of doing the question bank to learn things. Because question bank, if you do subject wise, right, the module wise, the order that they are
Yes,
given to you in, right, if you do it from first to 10, they will actually you will actually end up learning the stuff. You learn the subject gradually, step by step, without a lot of distraction and confusion. Because say you're reading orthopedics, means all the questions are from orthopedics. In orthopedics, if you're reading infections, all the questions are from infections. In
infection. Yes,
infections, we are talking about osteomyelitis, all the questions are from osteomyelitis. So subconsciously you already have the answer in your head. You just need to understand how they are going to ask you on the exam, and that is how it is helpful. Right. Now,
yes,
what about the
yes.
schema part? Was it helpful? How did you use it?
Yes, sir. Schema was very, very helpful, because sometimes, suppose you have done the questions. What I used to do is I used to open the schema, and for example, NEET 2022, I select from the drop down. At that moment, I used to see that okay, these are the few topics whose questions I haven't solved till now. So I used to click on the schema, and for example, there are 4 questions, and there's a pathology module. So I'll solve that module and get those 4 questions done with. So that was also one of my targets I used to set, that I'll be completing the schema as well, even though that includes solving a random module. But that way, one, that you are able to solve a random question module as well, and then you get over with that extra schema topic questions as well.
Right. So essentially, it is not a random topic. It is a topic related to the schema that we have prepared for you.
Yes.
Basically, for people who don't know what schema is, team, can you show the screenshot of Akash's schema performance? Now, so schema is basically selection of these important key topics that the team has prepared based on the previous year exams, and they have put it there so that you have clear understanding of what are the topics that are frequently asked on the exam. So suppose you're doing abnormal uterine bleeding, right? So the schema will show you what are the 7 or 8 questions that are from abnormal uterine bleeding, and while you're at it, you should go through them. So suppose you're reading abnormal uterine bleeding from obs and gyne, you open the schema, and then it will show you these questions from other subjects, if any, and so you can directly jump to those subjects, to those questions directly, read about them, learn, and then come back. So at the end of the day, what will happen is you will master the topics that are frequently asked on the exam, and it will be in front of you. Suppose there is a topic that you have subconsciously or inadvertently missed because you did not go through it, or you missed it because you did not know that was important. It will show up on your schema and it will remind you ki bhaiya, this is important. There are 7 questions that have been asked from this in the previous exams. You should know this, and that is the time you should go to it and read about it. And all the questions from all the different subjects of that particular topic will be in one place for your quick access. And smart people do that, and you should too. Now, I want to ask you about grant tests, Dr. Akash, because not a lot of students have this inherent fear before appearing for any grant test, and they postpone appearing for it because they feel ki if they give a grant test, their scores will be less, and they will be demotivated, and they will not continue preparation. And you, we have discussed before starting this interview, have attempted more than 40 grant tests in a period of 1 year. So that is pretty much one grant test a week. How did you go about doing this? Where did you find the energy and the time to pursue this?
So, sir, mainly what I used to do in that in those grand tests is that I used to see them as a challenge, because no matter how many individual questions you do, at the end of the day, you need to see 200 questions and of all the subjects, and you need to solve it within the stipulated time. There is no other way to do it. So, what I used to do is, instead of looking the grand test as a real exam, I used to think that these grand tests are a stepping stone that I have to take one by one. And at the end, instead of focusing on the rank, you should all, I know it's a bit easier said than done that you don't focus on how much rank you got, but instead of that, you should just focus on what topics or what area that you're lacking. Are you making 20 silly mistakes? If those are removed from your negative questions, I think then the rank will automatically go up. So I always used to take grand tests as something that I used to test myself, instead of believing that I'll be getting the same rank in the exam.
So you are using RAT as a testing tool. That is perfect. Now, to make that testing tool more objective and to give you representation of where you stand tall and where you are weak, we have GT analytics, right? It will give you the analysis of your GT performance, and it will show you what you're good at and what you're bad at,
Yeah.
and what you should work on to improve to get better rank. So, what was your use case scenario of this GT analytics, and how did you use it in your preparation?
Sir, I think the GT Analytics were an amazing tool, because this was the only major app that I saw which had this uh, opportunity to see all the grant tests together and see what are the subjects that you're lacking. Because I used to see that, for example, pharmacology, pathology are the subjects, and even medicine for that matter, were always my top subject. So I used to focus on them a bit less. And one of the bottom subjects which I had to work more was PSM, because that is a subject which asks a lot of weird questions as well, and it's a very volatile type of subject. So I used to see this analytics and see okay, what I want to start next. So if my anesthesia and FM are going down, I used to take that subjects and do that. So the analytic tool were a way on how to structure my revision going in the next few days.
So it was giving you an objective, representation of your preparation. Because sometimes what happens is subconsciously, हमको लगता है कि यार this is my strong subject, right?
Yes.
And we believe that, we inherently believe that ये मेरी strong subject है. But actually exam में you tend to not score well on that, and you feel कि okay, this is one off time that ऐसा हो गया कि maybe next attempt में अच्छा हो जाएगा, right? But this objective representation of your performance on a graph in numbers will tell you ki nahi bhaiya, this is your weak subject, you should put in effort to improve this, right? And looking at your graphs, it is so obvious that you're so good at pharmacology and medicine, which is actually very hard for a lot of people. Amazing job, amazing.
So I feel that those subjects were easy for me because they included a lot of understanding, and I was never having problems in understanding the concept of like medicine. So there were some times that I didn't even read the medicine again, just read it like after final year cardiology, and those were the few topics. I didn't bother to read it again because it was already on my top. So I thought that I should better focus on other
Right.
subjects.
So it gave you an objective
Yes.
report card of your preparation. You knew where to focus on so that your overall score should improve. Because the end goal of this whole preparation is to get better marks here. Nobody
Huh.
wants you to top only one subject. They want you to
Huh.
top the exam. And in order to do that, you need to improve all the subjects as a whole. And so you
All the
should know
subjects.
which subject is weak.
Yes,
Okay.
with subject
Now,
issue.
looking at the graph of your GT analytics, I see a nice, beautiful graph of total score slowly improving and climbing to the top of the hill. If you can show the screenshot of the GT Analytics again, team, I would like to show that to everyone. You can clearly see that the graphs are improving over here. You see his yellow graphs, these are his percentiles of the grand test. And all of them are mostly around 70, 75, 80, 85. Some of them are around 90 also. So what was your usual score and rank around these grand tests that you would give, Akash?
Sir, actually, the NEET grant test that I gave, I used to mostly come under 10 rank in those. My aim was to score more than 180 questions correct, and sometimes I used to get over 185 correct as well. So those were my usual targets. But
What
as and when,
PG mock exam?
sorry,
NEET PG mock exam. What was your rank or score in the NEET
my
PG mock
mock
exam?
exam rank was 3.
Rank 3.
Yes,
And your actual rank is rank 4.
yes,
It's scary how representative that is, right?
yes, I agree to that.
Awesome, awesome. So it just goes to show how you use the technology in the app to improve your performance. Did you notice that guest tracking feature in the
Yes,
grand test?
yes.
So did you
Uh,
use it? Was it helpful?
Yes. So initial time when I used to give grand test, I had the time to review all the 200 questions, and I also had my friends. I used to discuss it with Punya, Santosh, Ravish, even Prem. I used to discuss the questions of
By the way,
that.
for people who don't know who these people are, all of these people are his friends. So rank number 2, rank number 11, himself rank number 4, and a few more top rankers, maybe single digit, double digit. All of these people are his friends who he used to discuss with. We'll come to that. We'll come to discussing
Yes.
the grand
Okay.
test review in a bit. But I just want to
Okay.
understand your use case scenario for
Yes.
GT Analytics.
Yes. So initial period of my preparation, I used to review all the 200 questions. But as you give grand tests more frequently and towards the end of your preparation, you get a bit less time to review those grand tests. So I used to book like guess around 50 questions, like approx. That was what I used to guess. But that's like up to the person. So in whatever questions you feel that you are not able to eliminate all the option, be liberal, mark it guesswork. When you end the GT, you are going to see the wrong questions, and then you also see the guessed correct ones, because that is where you have to learn, because वो तुक्के से सही हो तुम्हारे, असली एग्जाम में ऐसा नहीं होगा, वो गलत भी हो सकता है. So
Right.
वो questions gray area है. You have to put that in your correct questions in the final exam as well.
No,
So
I was speaking to Dr. Arushi, rank 1, and this is what she was also saying. She was saying ki the ones she got right also, she would review them because she wanted to be certain that she got it right for the right reason, right? And
yes,
not by fluke or tukka.
हाँ. तो वो गेस्ट वर्क वाला दैट फीचर हेल्प मी बिकॉज देयर वर मेनी क्वेश्चंस एंड दैट हैपेंस विद एवरीवन दैट यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ गेस्ट क्वेश्चंस एंड आई थिंक द सब्जेक्ट यू अभी नहीं पढ़ रहे हो उसके सिवाय ऑलमोस्ट सारे गेस्ट में जाने लगते हैं बट लाइक यू कैन यूज दैट फीचर टू जस्ट फिल्टर आउट द क्वेश्चंस एंड रीड मोर अबाउट देम सो यू आर वेरी श्योर दैट ये ऑप्शन जो तुमको लग रहा था कि आंसर हो सकता है वो क्यों आंसर नहीं है दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन नोइंग व्हाई दिस इज द आंसर.
And I have to give full props to the tech team behind this because it took them like millions and millions of hours of science and algorithm and technology to understand how to implement this so that they can give a proper objective representation of how your guessing skills will actually matter on the exam. So based on the guess tracker that you used in the grand test, were you a good guesser or a bad guesser?
I used to be a good guesser, probably because you get +4 for every good guess and -1. So
No,
most people, I think, would be in that ballpark only.
right. So good guesser is a person who is able to exclude the wrong options, and
Yes.
you can only exclude the wrong options if you have the right knowledge. So don't
Okay.
sell yourself short for that. Right. Moving on to something more important now. The custom modules, right?
Yes.
How do you use the custom modules? Because custom modules allows you to set up your own type of paper, introducing the type of difficulty that you want, the subjects that you want, and the number of questions that you want. What was its role in your preparation?
So my main part of custom module play in the last month of my preparation. So I had some question bank modules which I hadn't solved. So I used to make a custom module of those questions, and got those questions over with. Uh, Mainly using the hashtag recent need. The second
Mhm.
way I used the custom module was to see some of the tough questions asked in these exams as well. So you can put the difficulty on hard and medium. So if you think that now you have completed the subject, now you can even go one step ahead and just select medium. I used to do that. I used to select the medium difficulty and do hashtag recent need. So you have less questions to solve, but you have some of the tricky or the some of the questions which most people are getting wrong. So you can judge your performance based on those medium level questions as well.
Okay, so it gives you a chance to escalate your difficulty and see where you stand.
Yes.
Right. Now, in terms of GT reviews, and I'm coming back to the previous question here. You said that you had a group of friends. Almost all of them are toppers now, and
Yes.
you would review the grant tests with them. So, can you just run us through how you use this group of friends to improve yourself?
Yeah, I think I like very heartily thank them as well, because I never felt competitive with them. I always used to feel that they are my friends. We learn together. So I had used to discuss with Punya Murlidhar, used to discuss with Prem Tilak, Santosh Iyer, and Ravish Gandhi. So we are in the same Baroda Medical College, except Prem, who is in BJ Medical. So sometimes when after the GT got over, we had a GT discussion group. So that group we used to post we are meeting now. So we used to discuss the grand tests. So we used to see 200 questions. It used to take like a day,
So, where
but
would we
that
meet? Where would you guys meet?
in the canteen.
Awesome.
And I think that those discussion that I have done with them, that is in my permanent memory till date. Like I remember that I had discussed this with them. So that goes in your in a part of your brain which I think it's very difficult to forget. So that was a very big improvement in my that gave me a good boost.
So it's really important to find the right group of people to study with, and that's the takeaway here. If you can find even one
Yes.
person, because I was speaking to rank number uh, nine, right?
Rahul Nambiar.
Rahul, right? Rank.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Rahul, and he said that he used to discuss with Prem, rank
Yes.
number two. So if even if you can find one person who is
Yes.
good enough, right, your whole preparation journey can change, and you are lucky to find many of them.
Yes,
And I
that is.
think this is the takeaway here. Find somebody to study with. It makes the journey easier. It makes it less painful. And when they correct you, never take it negatively and feel bad about yourself. Take it as something that you're learning right now before the exam, and correct yourself. And you teach them as well, because at the end of the day, if you have two friends, four friends, five friends, 10 friends even, uh, and all of you succeed, all of you will be in the top 10, right? So don't worry about competing with them. You're competing with the world, right? So that kind of
Yeah.
mindset will definitely take you further, right? So I want to understand. I mean, before taking this interview, you specifically asked to be interviewed by me, and it was very interesting for me to know that, and I want to know why. Why would you want to only speak to me?
Sir, I feel the way you talk about things other from academics, because this NEET PG journey is not only like your life is not only about academics. Like you will have to become a doctor, you have to learn to communicate. Sir, I think that I have watched your videos. Mainly, the most important I think is the one you posted just a few days or like one day before NEET PG on how to be in the right mindset. So I think, sir, I got inspired from you there, that it's not just like one exam that you have to crack. There are many different moments in your life. So I think that perspective that you had, that is something that I aspire to have as well in my life.
Awesome, awesome. That's so lovely to hear. And yeah, yeah, it was a day before the exam, right? Because that is a very difficult phase of everyone's preparation. Now, before calling you, I found out that you were studying for INI set. Uh,
Yes.
this whole motivation to keep continuing after doing such so well on the exam, what pushes you? How could you sit down and study again when you know that you have the best rank right now? Your future is secure. You can get whatever you want. Why would you
Yes.
want to continue pursuing further?
Sir, I think the main reason is that there is always something that you can aim higher, no matter what pedestal at you are in your life. Like for example, if you're the president of India, you can be the president of UN that way. So there is always one level higher that you can aim, and I feel that everyone, if they can, should have that higher aim in their life and not just be you should be satisfied. But I personally feel that my aim is to get into even a better institute than probably I
Okay.
would be getting through this rank. So that was my primary aim, that I started studying the next day from NEET, after
From
NEET.
the next day itself.
Yeah, on
Awesome.
6th I had decided I'll take 1 day break. I took on Holi, फिर पढ़ना है सर.
फिर पढ़ना शुरू हो गया. Okay. So before starting this interview, you said that you wanted to ask me something.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask that currently that I have gotten this rank, and I'm getting many congratulations messages, lot of calls that I couldn't attend. I'll have to call them tomorrow or even day after for that matter. So, sir, I wanted to ask as to how now, what should be the strategy now? Like I have scored a good rank. Should I like get into that celebration mode, or should I continue studying? Like how to get a balance of those two?
Right. And it's so interesting because uh, Arushi rank one had a similar question. It's so interesting. See, your rank 4 right now is an amazing rank. It's an insane rank. It is probably the best rank that you have achieved so far in this kind of competition in your whole life, because this is the kind of competition that you have faced only once, right?
Yes.
So I feel this moment that you have right now is something that you should cherish. See, intelligent people like yourself, and I'm not saying this as a bad thing. This is an extremely good thing that I'm saying about you. Intelligent people like yourself are hyper critical about their performance, right? And they're so critical about themselves. And that is what makes them better, because everything they do, they look at it in a very critical way and they want to improve over it. And that's how they become better and better, which is a good thing. But it comes with a disadvantage, it comes with a drawback. The caveat to that hypercritical nature personality is that they can't cherish success, and they don't want to feel happy for very long, because for them celebrating is for weaker people, you know.
Yes.
खुशी मनाना तो छोटे लोगों का काम है,
Hmm.
हमारा काम तो मेहनत करना है, right?
Yeah.
People like you would want to enjoy working hard rather than celebrating the success, because
Yes.
you find happiness in working harder. But this should be a reminder for all of us, you know, young doctors like yourself who are going to be big doctors in the future, that our life, right, like it is very limited, and as a doctor it is even more limited, and we put in so much effort to, you know, reach where we are. We forget to celebrate these moments. So if you're getting calls right now, someone is calling you, wishing you, congratulating you, I want you to pause your preparation. Honestly, pause it.
Sure.
Cherish these moments. Listen to them, because these kind of praises that you're getting from your uncles and aunties is not something that you'll get every day. Right?
Yes,
Cherish
agree.
these moments. Memorize what they are saying. Memorize the look on your parents' face today, because that look you might not be able to recreate again. Uh,
Yes.
Live this moment, enjoy it, be happy, absorb it, right? पढ़ाई तो करना ही है,
Hmm.
right? You might
Yes.
find success in INI set, or maybe you won't. If you find success, great, you will be happy once again. But if you don't, you have already missed this opportunity to cherish
To
these beautiful
celebrate.
moments,
Yeah.
right?
Agreed.
So live this moment right now. This is an amazing rank. You have already made it, right? Wherever you are today is a dream and aspirations of lakhs of doctors. So you're at least live it for them and
Yes.
enjoy this. And hopefully you'll crack INI set again, and we will have another meeting then.
Thank you, sir.
Right. I'm so happy for you, and I wish like to congratulate you on behalf of everyone from Marrow. I wish you all the best for your future, and I would like to thank you for letting us be a small part in your success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to say a few words before we could end this meeting.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So I will, in the start of the video, I couldn't thank. So first of all, I would like to thank God. I would like to thank my parents, my dada, dadi. everyone who has been the part of my journey, my friends that I told before, one of my friends, Sakshi, who is a dental student, my other friends, school friends, Ayush, Akshit, Karthike, everyone. Sorry, I'm not able to name everyone, but yeah, they have been a critical part of my journey as well, and so has been all the faculties and the team behind Marrow as well. So thank you again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank all your friends also. And I would like to thank all your friends also for making you who you are. Thank you and have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.